Well, I was going to maybe start this episode by playing Sweet Caroline, Held a Pitt. You see it on the shirt. But before we get to our guest, Michael, this is another great episode ahead of the Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy. I'm Jay York Football. This is Mic'd Up Sports One. How's everything in South Florida?
Everything is good. We're going to talk to another guy who's currently in Florida today. He is training for something a lot more important than we're doing here, the NFL draft, of course. I don't know what I'm training for, maybe to trying to get 8 hours of sleep each night. That's what I think both of us are training for these days because it's free agency. You have a little daughter. The draft is coming up, man. So right now I'm just training my mind instead of my body, unlike our guest today.
Well, you need to get from point A to point B, and let's bring in our partnership with City Wheelhouse, where the bar is set. Tires for all cars and trucks can now be purchased online at steelcitywheelhouse.com. And best of all, we always say it, they'll work with any budget. Financing is available. Tell them that the Sick Podcast Steeler Crazy sent you. You'll be riding off in style. Our guy, Jalen Warren, we did his show, number 30 for your Pittsburgh Steelers. He goes there, so you know that it's the best in the city. That's Steel City Wheelhouse, where the bar is said. Why don't you show him on your shirt, Mike?
Boom. You called it. You want me to turn around too, or is it too much work?
Yeah, go ahead.
Probably knock everything over that I got here. There you go. Respect. Shout out Steel City.
Go see our guys, John and John, down there. Any custom auto work, they're the best in the city, hands down, no doubt about it. And this guy was definitely one of the best in the city, and no matter where he goes, but we're hoping for him in black and gold, and we'll get right into it. Sammy, take it away.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Aaron Smith shields. Flacco, Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, as our NFL draft series rolls on, I would certainly say Steel City is appropriate for this guy because he could very well be the best Pitt player in the upcoming NFL draft. Big time prospect. We're excited to talk to him today. None other than Matt Goncalves. Matt, what is up, man?
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're pumped, and I know our viewers are pumped. We've been hearing a lot about you. Of course, in regard to national news and NFL draft, but locally, everybody already knew who the heck you were because of your time at Pitt, of course. So just talk about that a little bit, man, that experience. Touch on how Pitt helped prep you for the NFL.
There's been plenty of ways that the University of Pittsburgh has helped me, accomplish my dreams. And coming from a small town and from Long Island, New York, where the football is not too hot, and then coming to the University of Pittsburgh, they taught me, how to play football, how to be a professional, how to take care of your body, how to, learn the game. All along the lines of, media, how to talk to media. I think that the University of Pittsburgh helped me out tremendously when, transitioning to the next level. And I think it's going to be a great process for me. So,
super random. I always think Long Island hot dogs, Nathan hot dog eating contest. That's in Long Island, right?
Coney Island, yeah. I think it's it's in New York. So I don't know if it's too close to me.
Well, I was going to ask how many hot dogs you think you could put down in one sitting. You're a big dude. How many you got in you?
Maybe 20, 25. I think so.
You said that like it's light work.
You said that without hesitation.
I feel like that's a lot, though. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
No, that is a lot. Man. You said it like it was just like an afternoon snack or something like that, man. But that's good stuff. I got to ask you, I'm not sure if you've had any questions about hot dogs yet during this process, but I know it's different, obviously, than anything that you've gone through in your life. What has this process been like so far? What has stood out to you in terms of getting ready for the NFL draft?
I think as of right now, recovering from my injury that I just happened this past season, that's been the biggest thing for me. Just trying to get healthy, get back onto the field, start running 40s, start doing legs and weight training and stuff like that. I think that's been the biggest transition. But I think taking advantage of every opportunity that you have. You know, when I went to the combine and had formal meetings with teams and informal meetings, you know, showing my football IQ, I think you really got to take advantage of every opportunity that you have. You got to stay on top of your game at all times. You know, you can't take a break when you're over there, especially you know, at the combine, which I was just at. But I'd say, yeah, just don't take don't take it for granted, and take advantage of everything that you got. And you know, that's what's really taught me.
For sure. Matt, we're aware that you met with the Pittsburgh Steelers, we think on an informal basis. What can you tell us about that meeting? What was that like?
I met with the offensive line coach, and you know, we talked about my background, and you know, just we were kind of just talking back and forth about Pitt, and you know, I don't know, it wasn't probably a 15-minute conversation. You know, we went over some football stuff. You know, wasn't nothing too crazy, but you know, talked to the offensive line coach, and you know, I've known him way back since at Joe Moore camp when I met him, and you know, I ran the drills with him and stuff like that. So you know, I've happened to get close to the coach, and you know, it's been a good process. So
Yeah, I was just going to kind of allude to that. You guys are right next door. You're not even next door. You share the same facility. Yeah. So a meeting almost is, you've met these guys a lot is what I'm getting at. I'm sure you know a ton of guys on the other side as it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you know, we get off of practice, you know, we go from 9 to 11 and they're just getting onto the field. You know, when we walk off, we see them getting ready for practice, getting prepped. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I see their offensive line. I see, you know, the defensive line, TJ Watt and the quarterbacks and just the whole group out there. And, you know, it's something that really inspires you when, you know, you come off the field and, you know, it's a little bit of motivation towards the end of the day for sure.
We know a New Yorker, but you're officially a Yinzer now, no doubt about that. How much would it mean to you to stay in the Steel City potentially and be drafted by the Steelers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would mean a great deal to me. You know, coming from, you know, like I said, Long Island, where football is not too prominent in college, going to the University of Pittsburgh and, you know, just having Pitt, you know, back me when I was a captain in my injury and how much the fans, you know, mean to me and stuff like that. And just how much the city loves football. It's a football city, you know, as long as hockey and, you know, baseball too. But I think it really is truly a football city. And, you know, just to go back there and be back in the city that I love and, you know, I grew a lot of love for and, you know, I think it would be a tremendous opportunity and it would hype me up for sure and make me play, you know, I think out of this world. So.
Well, either way, you know, after your career at Pitt, you're a Yinzer for life no matter where you go. So with that being said, talk about, you know, your relationship with Kenny Pickett. I know you guys played. What would it mean for you personally to be reunited with him? And do you guys still keep in touch?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, just to be reunited with Kenny, I mean, it would be, you know, I've told this to another reporter from, you know, it would be a dream come true. It would be because, you know, that's my guy. And to be able to win an ACC championship with him and, you know, be the right tackle for him, you know, in that ACC championship when he did the fake slide. And, you know, like I said, it would be a dream come true for sure. You know, I love that guy. And, you know, he texts me every once in a while, you know, during the season. Sometimes he's, you know, he's busy all the time. And, you know, I understand that for sure. You know, every once in a while, shoot me a text, happy birthday, or, you know, hope you feel better from your surgery, or, you know, just kind of like, you know, here and there, nothing too crazy. But, you know, to be able to, you know, block for Kenny again, I mean, it would be something, you know, that would mean a lot to me for sure.
Great stuff. Great. Love watching you guys together at Pitt as well. And yeah, that fake slide never gets
banned.
old.
It never gets old. You got it banned from.
I mean, every time I watch that video, the first thing I watch is me, my set. And,
yeah.
You know, I see me blocking the guy, and then I just see Kenny running, and you know,
I
relived that moment in my head. You know, when I saw him enter, I didn't even know it was a touchdown until like I got up and started running. But you know, it was crazy, and it's something that I'll hold near and dear to me forever.
So you got
tell your grandkids one day.
Yeah. If you don't make that block, that doesn't happen. So you got to ban, not Kenny.
Maybe. I don't know. I think he did all the work of that one.
So kind of talk about a little bit more somber subject. You know, you were injured last year. Are you fully healthy now? Like, do you feel, I know you touched on it a little bit, but do you feel 100%? Maybe you feel 110% better just after the refresh and mindset?
Yeah, I'm 5 months post-operation. The injury that I had was I tore the plantar plate in my toe, from West Virginia's turf, and it's kind of like a bad grade of turf toe, and they had to repair the ligament that bends the toe up and down. So,
Ouch.
yeah, it was a pretty serious injury, more serious than I thought. But I'd say I'm around 95 to 100%. I'm starting to work 40s. I'm starting to run full speed, and I feel really really good. Still needs a little bit more push. These injuries aren't something to take lightly. I think it's a full 6 month recovery is what, Dr. Hogan, my doctor that did the procedure for me, told me. So, I trust him. And, I'd say that I'm really close to 100%, just needs a little bit more push. And I think I'll be ready to go for pro day for sure.
Glad to hear it, man. Mike?
Yeah, that's great stuff. I always like to ask our NFL draft prospects to give a scouting report on themselves, if you will. If you had to give a scouting report on Matt Goncalves, what would you say are your strengths?
Well, I'd say the first of my strengths would be my versatility. I've played all over the line. I've played left side. I've played right side. In my career, I played a guard. So, my versatility, being able to move all over the line, is obviously a big strength of mine. I'd say my athleticism. A lot of people underestimate my athleticism. I'm able to move. I can move fairly well. And, changing from left to right, it's difficult sometimes to show your lateral athleticism and, how you can move. But I think that I'm a fairly athletic guy, and I'd say my strength in the run game. I can really run block. I think it's a key part of my game, and just being explosive off the ball and those types of things. So,
would you say you have a natural position? Is there a spot you'd hope to stick at, or you don't care wherever they want to put you? You're good with.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care. I think more right now I'm probably more of a right-sided guy because in 2022 I started 9 games on the right, 4 on the left in 2022 as well, and then this past season I started 3 at the left. So I think more comfortable on the right side, just move more fluidly. But like you said, wherever a team needs me to play, I'll play. Whether that's center, left guard, left tackle, right tackle, doesn't matter.
You play some center too.
During our COVID year, this is a story I'll get into. We were playing Virginia Tech. It was my first start. And, we had a bunch of guys out for COVID, including our center, Jimmy Morrissey. So I had to take that whole week. I had to take center reps. I was playing center the entire week. And then I didn't have a day to play left tackle, but in the game I played left tackle. So it just, it goes to show that, I can
Versatile.
move around fairly quickly. So,
Put you out at tight end next, it sounds like. And then, not even kidding, for sure. All right, on the flip side, what are some things that you're hoping to work on right now?
I'd say my anchor in the pocket. I mean, just working out of my set and staying low. I think that's a big deal, and especially in the National Football League, the bull rush and being able to recover off a bull rush. Whether they swim outside, inside, or do some sort of move off of that. I'd say being able to anchor the pocket. And, just athleticism overall, just being able to move. And I know I can do it already, but just to up the game even more, I think it can really help me a lot at the next level.
Is there an NFL player right now or somebody from the past that you look at and you're like, yeah, that's a guy I kind of want to model my game after, or somebody who, maybe is a favorite player that you've had for a little while?
For sure. I'd say on the, me being a right tackle, Lane Johnson, Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best tackles in the league. And one thing you notice about him is he's on the left side. He's on the right side. He's not on the left side. He's one of the best tackles in the league. I think it's really important what's in front of a quarterback as what's behind him. So, what a quarterback sees, in his eyes, maybe makes him stay into the pocket, be able to, make a throw off that. And, just his playing style, his protection, and the things he does, game, day in and day out, week after week. It's something that I really like to watch. And then also another player who I was watching this past season, I was like, wow, he's a big guard, and I could see myself playing inside like this. I thought Zach Martin, the way he uses a flipper and he goes downhill and drives these double teams vertically, gets up to the next level and opens up holes for the Dallas Cowboys. It was something that I'd really love myself to do as well. So,
all good stuff. So, hey, before we get you out of here, man, we always like to ask our guys, we break down the X's and O's. Just talk about, let's get your favorite spot in Pittsburgh to grab a bite to eat.
There's a bunch. I mean,
Your go-to, though. You're in a pinch and you just need something to eat. You don't feel like cooking.
I'm trying to think. Where I would go usually a lot of the time, I like the food over there, Urban Tap.
Yeah.
I like to go there.
Love Urban Tap.
Obviously,
Urban Tap's good.
Primanti Bros over there.
Yeah.
That's one of the big ones too. I'd say Urban Tap down. Then after the
You
game,
go to the? Did you go to the Oakland one? Our buddy. Shout out to our buddy Dave.
I went to the one in Southside.
Okay.
Yeah, the one over there down
Yeah.
Carson
I know
Street.
exactly where it's at. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I lived on East Carson Street. I would go down there sometimes and grab a bite to eat. And then also after the games, down the road at one of the Marriotts, there's a place called Soho under there.
Yeah.
And me and my family, we would always go there after every game, and we would all eat together, and it's good food. That's something that I'd say after the game we went there every single time. It was called Soho. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's right down the road from Acrisure Stadium, and I like that place too.
Right next to PNC Park, right?
Yeah, right next to PNC Park. You got it.
Rock throw. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's game day. What's pumping through your headphones? You got a music guy? Like, give us one song. You're getting ready to run out of the tunnel.
For sure.
Maybe we'll say pregame.
That's a good one. I like to listen to rap and rock. I don't know. I mean,
I thought you were gonna say like Sweet Caroline or something, but I guess
not Sweet Caroline.
That's the cliche Pitt.
A lot of the times when I was Wanted Dead or Alive, that song.
I like that.
I like that song a lot. It kind of got me fired up a lot. And then I like to listen to rap. Some other things that'll fire me up too. But I'd say it's a mix of those two for sure. And eventually, you kind of block out the music. You take your headphones off and you start locking in the locker room, getting ready. So I'd say that song for sure is always playing. When I was getting ready.
Speaking of locking in, like you kind of talked about it, but what is your life right now looking, going into this, the draft? Like what, I know you said you're training and stuff, but like what is like a day for someone like a draft prospect like yourself?
For sure. I mean, I'll take you back to, when we were, mid combine prep and, basically get up at 7 a.m. You're going to be training at 8:30 doing movement or lift. Then you got position work, whether you're going to work on the board, drawing up plays, to present to teams, working on football IQ, but also working on the field because they got, position work drills. And then in the afternoon, you get a little break, get lunch. And at 2 o'clock or 1:30, you got to lift. And, it's day after day. It's 6 days a week. And the only day you got off is Sunday. So it's really a grind. And it's a long season going from a college football season. Listen, I didn't play. But I can imagine some of these kids who came off of a full season having to go train, then having to go to combine. So it's a long process. So I'm still doing it right now, and I'm really trying to put my best foot forward for pro day. So,
well, hey man, you had a great career at Pitt. It was a pleasure watching you, and wherever you go, I know they're getting a good guy, but I would love to see you in black and gold and be reunited with Kenny. But best of luck, man. Thank you for your time, Mike. If you have anything to add.
You know what you're doing on draft day or weekend yet? You gonna be a family?
Right now, I'm just gonna have my immediate family with me there on the draft day, and whether that's the second day or the third day, they'll be around me. And then Sunday when the draft's over, I'll have a little get together on Long Island with my friends and family, and it'll be a good celebration of hard work and. It's been a long road, of me trying to accomplish this. So, I can't wait for that. But, it's still a lot more work to go right now.
Congrats on everything. Sincerely, man. You deserve it. And like Jordan said, very well said. Always rooting for our guys, no matter where you end up. So appreciate you, Matt. Best of luck. Can't wait to watch you during the process and stay healthy. All right.
Thank you. I will. And as always, hell to Pitt, guys. Hell to Pitt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Good guy and a great player, No offense to some of the players we've had on the podcast before, but there are times where we like to have local guys on because they're local, right? And people want to hear their story. This dude is going to play in the NFL for a really long time. He's a stud. He could be a second-round pick, third-round pick. I'm seeing his name in mock drafts
I'll take
all over the
second
place.
round.
And he got hurt last year. So that speaks to how good he is, man, because he didn't even really play last year outside of I think game and a half or something like that. And he's still widely regarded as, in the top 10, maybe offensive tackles in this draft that you could see early in that second day at some point. Steelers met with him informally. They like him enough where they probably have already met with him 64 times because he's a rock throw away throughout his career at Pitt. And they said, you know what, let's talk to him again. And he, I'm sure, impressed just like he did there with us. So it'll be an exciting journey to watch unfold. And I think everybody will find that interview really compelling.
Yeah, I mean, it was good stuff. Very well spoken. And his journey is just great and seems to have a good head on his shoulders. And like you said, like it just goes back to, every time like a players released that went to Pitt, West Virginia, Penn State, they're like, the Steelers need to sign him, this and that. I'm just like, this guy, it doesn't matter where he goes. He's just a talented individual. But listen, the 412 connection's there, and I'm all in, for this guy. So we'll see.
We can't go the whole podcast without, and we'll save it for the end because, I don't want to overshadow Matt. We can't go a whole podcast without saying the words Russell Wilson today, can we?
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, the line's already starting outside. The line is already starting outside the subways downtown and around Pittsburgh to get. Listen, man, this is what I'll say. They want to bring in competition. I mean, I don't really see that as competition. But I'll say this: a short window, a 2-3 year Super Bowl window, it could even help Kenny blossom. You never know. So we'll see. Like I said, it's just reports until the pen signed. I don't know. It's too good to be true.
I hear that. I tweeted the other day two things. One, that I do think maybe he's become a bit more of a celebrity than Pittsburgh would generally take on that personality. But two, he can still play. And his stats last year reflect that. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, beat Patrick Mahomes, beat Josh Allen.
I think it was the system that he was in, why he didn't succeed.
It was a mess over there with Sean Payton. And listen, he deserves some of the blame, no question about it. These reports of him wanting his own office and things like that rubbed us the wrong way. But he could still play. And you have a team around him that can obviously win. They made the playoffs with one of the worst quarterback situations in the NFL. The year before that, they went 500 with a rookie quarterback, or over 9-8. I think you put yourself in Super Bowl contention by upgrading a quarterback significantly. Tannehill, not a significant upgrade to me. I'm trying to think of some other guys. Jimmy G, not a significant upgrade. Justin Fields, maybe not as significant of an upgrade as Russell Wilson. So I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it, and I think that it makes sense money-wise the most. I think that Kirk Cousins would make the most sense, but I just think that price tag that comes along with it, it's
a lot. But teams can always figure it out if they want to do it. But if he is looking for a long-term deal, I get maybe why so much he wouldn't fit with the Steelers in their cap. But if he does want a short-term 1 or 2 year deal, similar to what Russ is probably looking for, I would prefer him over Wilson. But in terms of reality, Wilson probably would make more sense to the team given where they're currently at because he might essentially play for free. Denver's paying him $40 million this year. $40 million from
that was a
Denver.
Terrible trade for them. That might go down as one of the worst.
$40 million this year. So you bring him in and you bring him in and maybe he'll play for a vet minimum. People keep saying that he's not going to play for the vet minimum. It doesn't matter. He's getting a $40 million contract from the NFL. Who cares? Who cares if it's being sent with a stamp from Colorado? It'll get there. Trust me.
We know that. But hey, it's been a great episode. Honestly, I think this was one of my favorite draft profiles, just specifically because, I covered him in college and just watching them win that ACC championship. Hey, man, Steelers, you know what to do. You're on the clock. It's been another great episode of the Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy. Shout out to Steel City Wheelhouse, Hell to Pitt. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be coming with the content all year round. We don't stop. I'm Jay York Football. This is Mic'd Up Sports 1. Stay crazy and have a great weekend. We'll see you next
Sweet
week.
Caroline. Bye-bye.
Ooh.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.